Away from the multiplayer chaos, Battlefield V attempted to tell intimate tales of war through its war stories. Each of these short campaigns takes us to different fronts of the war, showcasing different perspectives. The prologue, Nordless, Thriller, Under No Flag. Each of these stories gave players a chance to step into the boots of characters, often overlooked in the larger narrative of the war. However, these stories, while poignant and well-intentioned, sometimes felt rushed and lacked the narrative depth that players craved. Battlefield V's war stories set out to depict the less explored corners of World War II, aiming to provide players a unique narrative experience beyond the usual action-packed multiplayer scenarios. Each of the war stories, the intriguing prologue, the frozen Nordic saga of Nordless, the heart-wrenching tale of Thriller, and the covert operations in Under No Flag, brought fresh perspectives, painting the war from different angles. The concept, on paper, was both refreshing and ambitious. The stories successfully aimed to personalize the war, shifting the focus from grand battles to individual experiences and diverse narratives. This was a refreshing change from the faceless soldier archetype typically presented in wartime video games. Nordless, for example, took players to the cold landscapes of Norway, putting them in the shoes of a resistance fighter. The setting was a distinct departure from the often depicted European and Pacific theaters, offering players a glimpse of how war impacted different geographies. Similarly, Thriller brought to light the contributions and sacrifices made by Senegalese Thrillers, soldiers from French West Africa, a narrative rarely seen in World War II games. Under No Flag focused on the covert operations of the Special Boat Section, giving players an insight into the silent battles fought behind enemy lines. However, these stories, though full of potential and well-intentioned, seemed to stumble in execution. While the game attempted to dive deep into the personal narratives, the stories felt somewhat rushed. The short campaign lengths did not lend enough time for the players to build an emotional bond with the characters, making the narratives appear somewhat shallow. Moreover, despite the attempt to portray different perspectives, the stories often lacked the narrative complexity and depth that players craved. The use of traditional video game storytelling methods sometimes oversimplified complex historical narratives, failing to explore the full depth of the characters' experiences and the nuances of war. In summary, while Battlefield V's war stories commendably tried to push boundaries by portraying lesser-known aspects of World War II, the attempt felt slightly undercooked. The potential of these narratives to make a profound impact was, unfortunately, undercut by their brevity and lack of narrative sophistication.